before the 4th of April.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're your main applicant.
You're your main applicant, no. Nyame adom na say krata ne kuta no say ewu a obetimi asa renew on the same category now also no.
Okay.
However, salary no abeko so kakra 23,000. Which is not a big change. And yeah, the best 2 year dream, sir. However, o krom ha and now o Ghana for now apply. Now o make any immigration application after the 4th of April. It's kind of also employer in the amount. You have two almost twice. And first now when you have 20,960 year, an employer no it's your £10.75 could be to me afford Juma. But currently that's not how it is. I also employer nature say bit me to 38,700.
38,700. Or a new one now. Wobe nye COS wa Ghana na wazi baba no.
Yeah, and it
even you want ma wobe renew no.
No. So what was COS? Okay.
Yeah.
Because it was COS, I'm talking about the main applicants no.
Okay.
Opa say o switch to another company.
Okay.
You will not be affected by this. Okay. However, dependent episode switch to another company. Oba also company shows a bit here 87,000 38,700.
Yeah, but no me dependent for no one so what you may be
what me you may be
the way when you ask that.
Yeah.
Na ketua na whatever man no be £12 per hour so but we meet it
dependent there I won't hear so
oh no here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Baby wo ho na main no and I say omumi ni nyina no ye twa omo license no.
Okay.
And I say ya revoke license no. I'm a fikesim for atro mo say you will 60 days and I say more 60 days to leave or apply. Leave or apply no. The main applicant ne a application for obe meet the old standards no.
Okay.
The old requirements no. However, say ni dependent dance no more energy so switch here akoyeme na. I want say you should see between 38,700.
Okay.
Okay. There are few exemptions in there. A bit remember also kakra.
One baba normal calculation no. The per year calculation 38,000 naira kana a year no. Not a monthly no. Nimpa no the wotia na kabaya ahin.
Sorry, so each employer never 38,700.
Okay.
Normally the working hours is supposed to be 37.5. Okay. And T.
But you may feel that share program on Facebook or Sahin Omega and TikTok or so no. Mo share or Sahin Omega. Bra lawyer all working. Ya pada yen figure because sometimes on what bono de me na bona nipa bebre ya adwunu mu he do asiru bakwa first number na ya wagana wala baba you ka chire 100 million to one sana wa mama aba e wona da memra ni bi ba ama for her into no say ebi a wakara wo gross na ebi a 38 no over do ha
38,700 over 37.5 hours now they it was our rate now also to our £19.80.
They have to pay you an hour rate of £19.80.
And that's a monthly rate of 29,600.
What is 2,900?
Sorry, 2,976.
2,976
a month. Yeah.
And so apart from below this rate, the application will not be successful.
Yeah, for say generally, sanity. Yeah. However, with the immigration rules now, upon a skilled worker, I try categories are obey me a so okay. Financial requirement and I say salary requirement no. You won't mark From A to K.
Okay.
Okay, requirement A, requirement B, requirement C, up to K. And more application from the 4th of April this year. Not only main applicant. Okay, not only UK has a then the only salary requirement of meeting here from A to E. Mecca A no.
Okay.
Table A to E. Mecca show. And I said we are old for or skilled worker category no. Now we are main now. And the bit use option F to K.
Okay.
Okay. F to K. NT A to E no was on the applicable to everybody no. The first one here, the general one. I was say scanner about accounts moon and scanner employer new situation 88,700.
Okay.
That's the first inclination. 38,700. And I said £19.80.
Okay.
That is what has to be paid. Say ye a whole free while. Or you'll be a PhD holder.
Okay.
Okay. Salary is a betty.
And the mom salary in the form.
Salary in the form. We are going to PhD holder, I can salary in the cost. They said no mum, but me trying lesser than that. Until you could see to salary PhD holders no. I think it comes down to 33,000. I believe 33,000. So
okay.
Then or you'll be a PhD and also PhD level our STEM subject STEM near science, technology, engineering and mathematics. Or your PhD was our area now about from more to 29,000. Okay.
Because we will let them microphone and also.
Yeah. About from more to 29,000. After or you'll be a new entrance.
Okay.
New entrance here will be a we school for per se. Or year Juma. Okay.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, within 2 years, na year Juma, you're new entrance into the job market. Will be a what less than 26 years. I see a new entrance into the job market. So a new entrance for no, wait me to on 23,000.
Okay.
Okay, new entrance category now can be paid up to 23,000, which is the best rate in these categories. IRCT app now. And T, your A, which is the main one, 38,700. Your B, your C, PhD for no. You have the new entrance in there. And T, so our categories now I can want to know. A to D, E, if you be immigration salary list, and then option E. Immigration salary list, the first name from shortage occupation list.
Okay.
See, I change your mood, I immigration salary list. And no, FA nurses, healthcare assistants, carers, FA plumbers, steel benders, carpenters, masons, construction workers.
Fishermen. Okay.
Yeah, first category of people, Nina. And
so what do you so form?
Honestly, a day of form. And she said, oh, as our category now, you get a better rate in that. So when you 5 years A to E now, then we still have 38,700. Okay. But who will be a now skilled worker license no.
Okay.
I engine friends because engine friends I'm interested a track employer and license. Which I say yeah now 60 days for free a man in train.
Okay.
Yeah. And also no apart from these options no you are entitled to option F to option K. Option F another table up to K. So okay. As
yeah, me get them a church ning na ye nyina ye sua de baby a ede bae no na me pede me bisa dem sem obi kite COS no na se ne employer no we lose the license na se home office for atro nyimpa no
yeah
there e bia 90 days 60 days fefi kro we yi mu a nyimpa do baaze na oda oye
Episode question you say Pentecost of be catch us any bomb for home. Yeah, I mean, very difficult. Very difficult. Once you're given that 60 days, your options runs out quickly. So what happens? They say, oh, be I am out 60 days, and I say, we be a if you can see for a true it means they've given you enough time to weigh your options. You have to be very careful how you plan that 60 days now. Mostly you seek legal advice.
Okay.
There are few things I don't want to say them here.
Okay.
And yes, be a but some cat was here now. Almost 1,000 people be fought the same option. Nothing. What say at the corner also, so
okay.
A money very delicate. But there are a lot of options available. So when you notice now, 60 days notice now, that's not the end of the time. A lawyer can make us make a way where there seems to be no way.
But a lawyer the best.
Yeah. A lawyer will do their best to make sure that your leave to remain is sustained at least for a significant period of time. So when you're 60 days, that's the best advice I can give you. So be lawyer not why, because options now are available. No, you need to job pay. It's not say you will be better faster option so, but when one of the offense people create in the UK, okay, is to make flimsy applications and that's a bogus applications.
Okay.
If you make a bogus application now, you can be penalized for it. I could say, oh, you are stifling the progress of your removal. And so I could say, delay near one aspect, but say I say you per se you do ko na wafa embraboni biso it's not chromacy. So if you're making an application and I say you're making certain request to the Home Office, it has to be very reasonable, rational and substantial. And it's better you build your for the want of a better word, your story.
Okay.
And answer your case before you make the application. Now in the way, say never cast for Ibra and say a bit me. But so you say, oh, your truck rabbit me the way atom, and answer bit my say. Not oh yeah. You don't know the outcome, you don't know anything.
It can lead to
yes. A bit me ability to refusal. But then subsequent application na be no. If you can for say, oh no, I idea we be atom keke. And see yen few. And into nama may shame who say main car and your man or I say but
employers the bad in a way more lose our license. Because don't be when you mobile and was so well we could employer no needing online there we channel license to know them bad in employers and why you 1 year man we could do damage in Abian.
Okay, so you are family.
Okay.
The positive, and I said the general side, and then normally the negative side. So generally, if you can see for make very silly excuses to revoke licenses. I've got a client whose license was revoked because Home Office claims say the website now what you also a domiciliary care and recruitment agency. In almost expect to say the candidates or supply them to another company.
Okay.
That's the reason why they revoked the license.
And don't know where evidence
only evidence only they just made these things up.
Yeah, me get the fire bread wa join na if so wa join. Ya pa mo chewa mo share program no na ondu baby o do because ye na ye share de no e bia nyemi na me ho aka but me nyanku bi another wunu bi a we to kwan wa ba UK na COS na the ba no problem ababa open in Portugal kasa.
Yeah. So another avenue, casing for any stupid way to refuse or revoke licenses. It puts a lot of stress on the employer because once your license is revoked, the Home Office not only revoke your license, but report you to CQC and to the councils that you no longer have license. And you might be a risk to the services you are looking after because your staff strength would go down.
Okay.
I want to report to my council now the council now say LG more packages if you change. Now CQC so I'm an opportunity to give contingency plan.
Okay.
Employer near but affect everything about it. But I always advise employers to say once you get these things, don't harbor it. Just seek immigration advice, seek legal advice, and let's challenge it. If it's on the right spectrum, then we can get you your sponsorship back. But sometimes even better, we can argue for cost against the Home Office for you. You bet me about fixing for car on your behalf in the hundreds of thousands. Okay? Certain number nyansenim and into asumwa courts, we can quantify everything for them. Okay? How our firm contract I'll see. I mean
when I was somebody there.
Yeah. When I say so far as say it's me a better license back for you know. So what's some do? Okay. I try say because in 44. And so mudi for I have you from Biano. I was so mutia. I won't come out.
Only one. Na back so
the other aspect of it is BOHA employers no they make a very huge anticipation say, oh, I mean contracting there because one of the worst things about healthcare industry or the healthcare system no and they say unlike other areas they say construction mechanic shop etc no you know your work you know your client base etc and see when you say me funny 5 a dying say in AC you have 5 years to complete it or one true but healthcare is a very very dicey area because the employer and the fact only nipa cancel them management okay they won't give him or her work because you don't have the staff to manage it and see to do na am say before nipa cancel them management na fe
nipa no ho dada
and to betima supply sometimes it works sometimes it doesn't particularly in the last year it has not because the number of people that move fast are no so when me nipa mbra na makope cancel no omodo so bebre inti na fe is like nipa 1000 ko chat
into no mama do me bebre bag ebe me dam no
inti over here maybe about 2 or 3 years ago a lot of clients that I had in the care industry or short tender
Mr. Brother Kumi yada say or gift bag yada was pa yada say yanko
and that is how that works. And he said, offer and crofono na nyame.
You know, be shower free apam. Yeah.
Okay. It is offer and crofo na ominya bedru kroma say na went me am pejuma na momwa. Then na be on one kasa na abaya how ma and crofo nti eya na nye boapaye eye sa sisi the audition and so no. Ebi won so a
wo nua musu obi mu wenyi bira adodo bi e
obetima kan say bia bi wo ha onim say onye adwuma ma no afa that is how things are but do one I say we're planning well say nyame adwuma this is what I'm going to get for my client because at the end of the day the more you work the more they gain. Into why would he bring you here without giving you work?
Okay.
Yeah.
Obi Abba or the COSCB, we will lose the license. No.
Yeah.
Employer may lose the license.
Yeah.
ikuru na yere no ɔbaa no nyɛ 1 more days so 1 more days mpo ebia nyinsee no baby edu no wɔbɔ wɔ abɔfra no ansa na wɔ days na wɔde ama hɔ no asoma wɔ ebia wɔ ama hɔ 90 days ɔbaa no so aka no maybe 20 days ma wɔ awo afra ba da ba abɔfra na wɔbɔ wɔ no ne stance today.
So it's a big deal.
Yeah.
What happens is abofra be able no kruma say no. Either he takes leave from the mother or the father. So when me ni bia oni hwe.
So when me no na wo wa abofra no wɔ UK asase do some damo oba ne obeyin no. So wonyi nkrata ya abofra na wo woro no bato ya no so onyi bi.
Oni hwe. But abofra ni timitina. Otimi na musa for a period of time otimi nya.
Ono betumi.
Betumi nya ne.
But what betumi go school there?
But yeah. So school health and found so krata na so ni krata.
Okay.
Yeah. Ni krata or krata, so you can go to the hospital. Basic necessities you can still get them. You can still get them. You don't need, things.
But my visit food bank.
And the home will be
okay.
Yeah. So these are key things. I mean, obetimi enya so mfaso. But say we couple na efficacy for atromo say more 60 days to leave the country. Nye say ho onya be man so ye dependent and na be man so bisa. The difficulty is that sen pakone be ye adwuma more than 9 months. I mean over a period of time and sana onyem and na bisa the employer or she's entitled to maternity pay.
Okay.
Say when they say unity. So the employer should pay her consistently till time. I mean.
Oye, you know, but for nyinse no waha.
Yeah.
Jelo di nyinse no figa na ba.
Exactly.
Be you wa nyama mba.
Yeah. And she's legally protected. Okay. So that is with that. Say onyim no ba ha say normally if she's still working or she's worked for a period of time she might qualify for statutory allowance sorry by the bit every month. Okay, say obenya 9 months the 9th month no enti empaso obetimi anya wo kroma say no me sure say we bisa say so dey na wo so ye 60 days near the man no. Normally, before so when you can say 50 days because
Benya letter no.
So once you have the letter, my advice is that seek legal advice. I mean, because there are few options that you can friend of contingency options.
Okay.
I bet me I that to you my year. Copy so very your mama who say yeah, win and pessimifa, and I win and pessimifa, and I win and pessimifa. Mostly a lot of people qualify for some discretionary leave, but you see, every situation, every person be on a situation in the day. She may be entitled for discretionary leave, okay, based on the circumstances, based on where she was in Ghana or wherever she was and stuff like that. If, for instance, obi okroma say, and now obi abakroma onyem anase waba onye oye adwuma onyem oni ni kunu na betina say or baketwa even say or baketwa because akwa neighbor no. Can he go back to Ghana? How will he argue say Ghana? I mean, there is private life in the country. Be about half for 1 year or 2 years. Say Onyafri ako Ghana, 1 or figure never na krankan 2 or 3 the circumstances in Ghana. Is it right for for them to leave the country and go back to Ghana? If these 3 things we can argue say there insurmountable obstacles are affecting back in Ghana, we can seek some leave to remain for her here. Okay. Then I was here, and I said, the big imagination.
Charles, where do you why? Koduna share program, no?
Yeah. And today I was say, if I will be situation now, dear mommy. One, if we can show that she can never be employed when she goes back to Ghana, okay, which has an impact on her mental health, the race, the development of the child, etc., etc. Okay, baby or one, the situation are deteriorating. Okay, be na a crown of Friasiano, in soon sense, some near the day. Nancy Prani or Fini at the dinner, I say near the day. So
fire edu.
For instance, Obiti said, oh no, community no team near the no. There are health, constraints to her, there are economic constraints to her, there are physical constraints to her, and stuff like that. So all these things, adding an upper, it sums up to be an insurmountable obstacle, a bit more affecting from going back to the country. And if you can see for bit more than 2.5 years more. Okay. So it's not say yes, we check her into Miss Media. It's a check her Miss Media.
Yeah. Well, Madakan may get the TFIA warfare. No, where I didn't do it. Now, maybe it's a question call. Always people try to, when you are talking to them, oh, employer no, the lines is no way, also boss wish or boss wish in patcho, and the bepada swishing Nankasa working. Each because chile, I safe more time, what color swish now? Damanate. Ebia need to mean actual figure price what you there, but then you are because we be by the case also what's a man employer no agent no what's a man switch all the can other all can no you will be way task into the one bright if we are in a year the word the COS and no one's a man some you know by there the bachelor mark a am it's if
okay kakra make half a switch no when say obi your application if you buy a visa application, okay, he makes a visa a permission,
okay,
and then once it's granted, it's a visa and granted. Switching when the grant near the man he wants to move from that grant to another grant, i.e., he's moving from either one employer to the other.
Okay.
And I say from the skilled worker to another skilled worker, and I even from one immigration category to another immigration category. These are all switches. But say employer no they'll buy or time naso no person or twice one you can say switch.
Okay.
Or extension.
Okay.
Or extended leave.
So we as new.
Yeah.
Naso renew my only extension.
Any extension. So yes, new naso renew my the same employer renew my extension. Okay.
Okay. What the church because maybe we saw that the man crowd work for how many years and we indefinitely growing into baby at the church more no or your switch no church monsi na you would pay the man about to crew man sana when you're the mazi.
Okay, so skilled workers category, skilled workers, a cast across board, you have to live in the country for 5 years.
Okay.
Instead of when you're indefinitely leave to remain. If you're not a skilled category, you require 3 years. You require 2 years. No one you're indefinitely leave to remain. But focus on a skilled worker and say 5 years. And to be out by an employer anymore 2 years and answer 1 year. Now, as soon and answer 3 months now, so and see the employer has to extend it. Okay, and so also
no good in the year,
no, you said you want to obey to us for extending. If employer no, I'm out 2 years and I said 3 years, but your general license is a so you have to move from that grant that you had, you are granted on a particular COS. To moving from that COS to another company, so you are switching your leave, which is your grant in the to another company. And see, once you switch, you need another COS, which is certificate of application now. At the now, which may apply for visa. To be apply for visa, say they will apply for visa by now.
Okay.
But star visa and your friend is switching because you are inside the country. It's in your visa now. You
are moving from one platform
to the other. Yeah, okay. You are switching. So that's how the switch is. I mean, it's Casemni that did the ministry made the home come over.
Only now employers.
Employers.
Lawyer switch, and another employer switch.
I mean, most of the times, no, especially for myself, we work with a lot of companies, over hundreds of companies. What happens is that the employer can give you a list of employees or facilitate switching normal. So we do their COS and we give it back to the employers and then they share it to their candidates. So the candidate wants us to apply for the switch for them, then we can do it on their behalf. These are matters.
So it goes with the switching it, it goes with the employer and the lawyer between them.
Yeah. Okay. So employer can do it themselves. They can also instruct a lawyer to do that, especially if they want to make sure that things are very accurate.
Am I the most COS or there are some abekroimo brapping? Because he also do papa.
Yeah.
This week, a doma by companies are by 6. I will be my minimum. Either fret. Where I do like where you book the pada license and whom on yet. You probably brace war, but also no. We say, no, what year was the bar?
Say, Unya Ubia, the employer and losing the license. What I can advise them is that they should get the employer to get in touch with the lawyer. They can get in touch with me.
Yeah.
Okay. What I would want them to do is to advise the employer. They can book an appointment at kingscourtlaw.com. Mm-hmm. Then I have time with them. Let's ascertain the reason why the license was booked. It doesn't matter what you've done. Let's see the reasons why it was revoked.
Okay.
If you are employer and bit my
okay.
Okay, be a momo or domo by a crano. Obi and how okay. However, if you are near noontin a jail license in Phoenix, okay, and you understand the reasons why the license was revoked in the first place. Is it can you challenge it? And if there are prospects of success in challenging it, that's what we can do. We go for it, we challenge it, and once there is success, everything goes back to normal. That's the best way, and that's what brings me satisfaction. Say employer over 50 employees, they are revoking a license. All the 50 employees will be looking for lawyers.
And they will lose documents too.
Yeah. So they are looking for lawyers, they are looking for people, they are looking for agents to switch.
Okay. Yeah.
But if that employer fights the case,
stand on his feet.
Yes. And wins the case, Star 52.
Now walk up to baby,
Obianco, they'll come back. Okay? At least they are sustained. Until sales car and application for Besaji for visa application for way is saved at that particular place. So I always advise employers, the best you can is at least seek legal advice. If it's a negative opinion, we can share with you. We are very open, and then we are very, law abiding as well. Yembeka say, it's positive when we know that it can work, and once it can work, we would make sure that at least we get a successful outcome for you.
I think that a Korea to me no be a new Korea into no Bibiaro Besua Quemubia, no we in there, lawyer or Baba King's Court Law or Besu or Northampton or Officer Crow or Black Mesa area or Bakri Cast one and Abacus or Morton Park. Oh yeah. brother Clement oye opinion or dan na me yin di nkomo yi owa into me hamba life am no make sure that be hwe me brother Ben yeah Ben our online yeah our Hatfield share from unu anum na obia nhwe bi ye osanso wa TikTok Osahin Omega ye wode nuanum bi ye brother Kumi Blance Fire Bread Bonze na your sister blah 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 no aba no we gu akọ esrama amon share program no na obi nche no mfensu bibi wunu bi a wa abaka akwentum na bibi dam no ebesina abeyesi akoya ama no onte bi no mfentu no fo amama bibi no kwachewa wetum wehu sabe pe bibi abotum akọ asara aye Pentecost asara oh not Hampton or English assembly no for PY you say PE you say pay for so that once we started we are very 12 Isaac Babas or Willembla Road Penema and Bokagana so a Paco shipping open general matters me get there a owner ewo abankasim na enyim nsame mesi oko ma oba this week na mawa diba metiefu a ono no atede obi de sayan oka na all the medri me di say na mum krubi all fadama hatai fa bodama hatai idi ye de mi ala obey de mi no da am free
Okay.
And no madam me free no your consultancy no ye hia bi.
Okay. Kakra meka generally. Okay. I always say this the skilled worker category, migrants, they are the best migrants UK had ever had. And you can make good use of it. Sometimes, depending on the circumstances, you don't have to restrict yourself to maybe a skilled work number, but there's no option available. There are always options available. There are always options available. Sometimes, if you speak to a lawyer, because the case loads on us now at Dawson, we do it a lot of cases, sometimes in a day. So if someone they be every day. So if a bit fair, okay, look at him. So lawyer and my friend, this is the situation on the ground, etc. I may not be inclined to attend to that person because it's not a 5 minutes matter.
Okay.
We need to understand what particularly your whole story and find a better solution to it. Yeah, because
I like hospital I'm folder.
So yeah, because say yes or now, especially the Pakistanis, I'm not being, segmental, a general. The leave they have to this country, majority of them, about 30% or 35% of Pakistani living in the country, got their leave to remain on private life.
Wow.
Private life. And see, private life no nye sebia or on crate bi no deba. Oni but ojina emrane or hase no enya bibi. And once you based on private life to get some leave to remain, you don't have any issues at all. Okay. And he said, all the skilled worker but not all particular conditions. A book or some medical conditions are. In fact, your application ready so could okay. Yeah. So such people, it is very important. Say, obey your matinaho, and that's a book consultation. No one's okay. Do you know what? How do we manage this? How do we do this? Oh, lawyer, me pacho, me ohase, this my situation, this my situation. You talked about Obia or war baby on and I'm near the day and stuff like that. If we look very closely into where they live and things like that, we can get a country guidance report, we can get a psychiatric report, we can get all the reports together and tell the Home Office, say, hey, this particular person, you can't send him or her back home.
On your stable health.
And health in going back now. Because now the unemployment rate in Ghana. Yeah. So the person cannot be employed. One of the key facets of private life, they say, I was a lawyer, and then if I make application, or trust say, I mean, there will be an insurmountable obstacle. So couldn't kruma. Are there been a insurmountable obstacle? Are there be a office a bit my hana brabo and an assetna as nipa?
We say,
on to me, you see a pioneer, on to me, dear, and I want to
me, yeah, the Martin.
Yeah, exactly. And normally there is an Indian client. I haven't personally with you, but India, Krobi Ohio friend Kerala. 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 I mean, the argument for that particular person was that Ofi Nikromo Ofi Nikromo Bakroma say, by 5 years. She said, what's not Kroma base 3 years to 5 years. Senior na usi live you Kerala no. Ne lifestyle live you hasena. A money to me and live you Kerala. Na baby na ne dan wo no. Inso you manefa ne dan no. Now okwa ne krom ho no. I mean, he has to start from square one. Okay? And then the thing is that because in so far ne dan pay ni a man to me and years so between my baby and so a ben and that's a ben so and these grounds it mean ya certain man as you see only how be so me ko renew another employer and you say and I'm interested away.
So the serious be by.
No, the or the visit nearby.
Visit, okay.
Yeah. And it mean ya certain no. And see obia situation is different. The more we get evidence to support your claim, the more we can. That's why I say about 30 to 35% of say Pakistanis or I mean the South Asian countries they get leave not out of anything. They get leave because they understand the rules and how they can apply it. So as I'll tell my skilled worker, friends, if you have a way around it, that's fine. Okay, but if you don't have any way around it, there is also an option to explore the human rights, the private life, the other categories of immigration, discretionary leave, which hopefully we can assist you to get it. And once you get them, if you walk around, you don't have to even pay an immigration fee for the entire period of time. So it's a very important message. Media share.
Ekura ebo twama adwuru ma me pada mbisa ye da omo ma ye lawyer for sabe ma ye lawyer for na Ghana for na wodi dam COS na ye dam main applicant wodi wo ye no na de wo ba no wo ba ye no wan kasa no a wo so ye lawyer yi no ihu wo su ba no wo complain then o hwa o ha ho in general. Because in general, I don't know one kind of quality and cheddar. We be more cassa, baby, or cassa, what when you baby as all will be more near employer and local. Into maybe said there. General matters now, or yet the MCOS more, but when you man cassano. It's Ghana for now. Yawahana, yet the banner, yesu. Bad no higher wo.
Really, a difficult question. And yet Ghana from a general India it cuts across
Nigeria.
Because normally these are sections of agents. Okay. Mostly deal with these matters. And see what an agent can say will be different from what another agent would say. Maybe one employer may have a lot of people they are engaged with and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, whoever is making the profit is the Home Office. And see, to me, first one employer, because I mean, Home Office, they have all the power and they know whatever is going on, and they knew, or if they planned it well, they would have known, say, this is an outcome of it. Because, for instance, in healthcare, you cannot, you can't promise a specific routine work for people, especially in domiciliary care, palliative or at any time. So, Home Office should have known about this, and therefore should have made contingency plan towards it. Inti say I can say blame me way. I mean, we be fighting ourselves, and the main
the problem
beneficiary now honestly, okay, which is the Home Office. I just charge over £3,000. Visa fee is sometimes clocking up to £700. So if every single person you are claiming almost about £4,000 or £5,000 from one single person. Now, employer COS mission back when Sanko Pepper for and now free chroma say no in say Pepper for a set you have a fee for no set you HS for. I mean, what kind of evil nature is that? And see, we don't want to blame employers and leave the Home Office alone. They are part of it, okay? Because if they mean well, and then your political year and that's the way they should have made provisions. Okay, do you know what? Allow people to work in, other areas. It be a political, it wouldn't make sense to them. But then they can find ways and means to make sure that people who are already in the country are surviving. Because otherwise, if say, cash trap because Uniska or the pay the worst that could happen is he can be a criminal. That would be against the country, which is the UK we sit in.
Just about share on Facebook, or say no mega. Mobile share program na obi sunye bi share. But share no obi botum we nye bi na wa share. What TikToks no so or say no mega. E wu no abafo would say it, but ibisa question na ye botum na yeso ye yiwa no. Na me pere mbisa there say obi aba onye edwuma oba no employer no oba no onye edwuma mbere dodo ahe na employer no wento ama won edwuma nintumi mfa renew with document. Okay,
say me baho, but your abna mansa ako obisa question be say, if you're on a tier 2 visa, should your 6 months mandatory stay be continuous? I'm not sure what the 6 months mandatory stay is, but I mean, if you can rephrase your question, it be a bit more amama atrasi amount. Say employer, opa, if you're a skilled worker, na say employer more juma, na if you're kissing for actual say become for a period of 60 days now. You have to switch within the 60 days, okay? However, waba for 4 years, yama wa juma biya. Employer ni so yenyi na di. Yeah. I mean, the immigration rules are framed in such a way, say, what it requires the Home Office to do, and say, or more, it requires them to seek only the current evidence that just Juma.
Okay.
Current, in my opinion, maybe 3 months. That's the current. Most of the current bank statements I can't 3 months.
Okay.
It's what now 4 years and now 4.5 years. Now planning more Juma be advice I'm gonna say. Definitely to remain now. But more than switch and send wako. Nepe, I mean,
I'm gonna make too many pay slips.
You have to get some pay slips for your renewal, because according to appendix skilled worker settlements, you need to show say
you go do your
juma. Okay, and see the qualified term near current. In Tomon will last 2 years, 3 years, 4 years.
Okay.
currently San and Branit here. Immigration rules need to be anytime. Yeah. So people who've lived for under the skilled worker for 5 years now, I mean that's what happens. So my advice is that if maybe your job is on and off, or you've not been given any work, and you lucky enough your employer has not been revoked, your employer's license is not revoked. Once you're getting or itching towards your 5 years now,
no matter how,
you have to do something about it. It's either you support your employer to get more work and then give you work and get some pay slip.
You
have to get some pay slip. Because permanent resident, you don't joke with it. Because you'll be taken to heaven. You just have to be very careful about.
Oh, begin to them who you feel there. Oh yeah, baby, I way no yeah King's Court Law. One office na ya na yeah. On Cheribia, the age with no, yet the baby awie. Yet I man for I should be better. My pay them Facebook no mobile share on Yashi, equal share now, share button na hour do. Na the army unia. Na I should be no way tea, be none so or the abana bra. Other may know in Kabo they could cheska near the man na ansana wa my information no. But you could use Kabia Yaban in be. Why no? Why church? Mo kama. Adama here. Open your last word.
Okay. Last words. Still.
Many of baby also for the fear. Or chef rapam. You chow. Share my. That's it.
Okay. Last words. Always. You know, unlike. Sorry. Once again. I say, what if when you come and your employer asks you to buy a car before? Okay. So these are difficult questions to ask. So Obia Busasa said, what about an employer and say to car and sana I mean, it doesn't work that way. Normally, if your work requires you to drive, it is incumbent on the employer say, "Uncle Bear, catch up and send away to Impasa Bahasi." When you do you are not obliged to buy a vehicle, and I say you're not obliged to, undertake any activity that was not agreed upon before coming in the country. Okay, and to say, employer never say, "Oh, you're a driver," and that's all talk. In acceptance or in the offer of the work, categories also fulfilling.
Also, maybe I will drive it. Because of care, mobile quano, ebia mobile kaya wa na wa ha, or we are by your ha. On internet messages there will be some about to be said BB so.
Yeah, and see, that question no, I mean, borders and employment law, but then employer who can say, okasacho unless say or more enter into contract no, oji offer letter no. Natural was say, if I catch you say, oh, I mean, probationary period, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do that. And see, these are matters, but employer don't have to ask you to buy a car before you do that.